Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing swell. Today I wanted to film a good old-fashioned Q&A video. You guys ask your questions, I give you my answers. I asked you guys for some questions over on Instagram, and thank you so much to everyone who sent in the Q's. And I just wanted to bop around the house today and answer some of your burning questions. If you're new here, hopefully it will give you a good glimpse into who I am here on this channel, and hopefully you'll learn something new about me today. So let us begin the Q&A with the most burning question of all, and it was what everyone seemed to have interest in, and that was, when is the wedding and when are you having children? For those of you who missed it, I'm actually going to link to my previous Q&A video because I actually did a very good chat about our wedding plans. If you didn't know, Dan is my darling fiance, but again, I do speak about it at length in that video, so if you wanted to hear all about our wedding plans, definitely check that video out. I will link it here as well as the description box down below. And I actually wanted to answer, someone asked, will I be sharing any wedding content? Which I don't see why not. Again, we have no date set. It's just not at the top of our priority list right now. We obviously will get married eventually, and when that time comes, whatever that looks like, whether it's like a very, very small, intimate something, I have no problem sharing wedding content. I think we're doing it definitely not traditionally. There's not gonna be like a huge, like massive ordeal, but I think whatever we do, whatever we do, that's definitely something I'm happy to share. I love seeing wedding photos. I love seeing wedding content, but as far as like planning goes, absolutely not. I'm not gonna be doing any wedding planning content. But as far as whatever we get up to that day, I'm absolutely happy to share it, and hopefully we'll have something to share eventually someday. It won't be for a long time. And as far as kids go, honestly, if we decide to have kids or if we decide to not have kids, it is so far away for us. We're still young. We still have so much that we want to do before we even remotely start thinking about kids. So absolutely not in the near future. And if that's something that happens, it's gonna be like 5 to 10 years away, and it's something I would definitely not be sharing on the internet. Only Meryl for the foreseeable future. The next question was actually a really great one. It was, how do you balance spending time with both your and Dan's family equally? And I thought that was very interesting because since we made our move back to Vancouver, which we made to be near both of our families do live in Vancouver, and it has been very interesting. We, I don't know if that means just like splitting time with them equally in general, or if that means like holiday specific. And we both feel very lucky because my mom loves Christmas. She loves the classic like December 25th Christmas. She's big into Christmas celebrations. And then Dan's family is actually Serbian Orthodox, so their Christmas is on January 7th. So it's actually so nice because the dates that are celebrated between the families are not conflicting. So we feel very, very lucky and blessed that we can have no argument when it comes to who we're spending Christmas or holidays with. So that's very nice. And then just like general living, we try to see each of our families at least once a week. Sometimes life gets busy, sometimes things get in the way. It's hard with conflicting schedules, but we try to like definitely do an even, like, okay, we're seeing Dan's fam, let's go have dinner with my fam, and vice versa. So hopefully that answers that. Where do we park our car? Someone asks. And to them I say, in the garage. We have a 2-car garage, and it's definitely a tight squeeze with all of our equipment in here and the car. I'm certain we wouldn't be able to fit a second car in here. But for the gym equipment and for our sweet Zelda, who is covered in snow, we had to bring her in though, because we have to plug her into charge. Oh, there it goes, dripping out. This is gonna be hilarious. But yeah, we park her in the garage when we need to charge. This is Zelda, neat world. The next question was, what do we think about our Tesla? And I've got to say, I think I'll speak for both Dan and I when we say this, that Zelda is our pride and joy. We absolutely love her, and we make this joke all the time. I've said this before. It was our least financially responsible decision we ever made, but it's our favorite one that we've ever made. We love her, and we also love not having to pay for these ridiculous BC gas prices. So we got our charging at home. It's easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, and she's an absolute joy and pleasure to drive. We love you, Zelda. The next question is, what did I study at university? And for those of you who are new here, hello. I started my YouTube channel while I was in university, and I went through many a waves. I went through 3 different departments, but I ended up finishing university with a degree in communication studies. So even if things hadn't worked out the way they did with YouTube, I think I still would have been doing something in a similar field. Yeah, that's my degree. The next question is, how many employees do I have? Or in general, how does it work behind the scenes? Who's on the team and who's making all of these videos possible on the internet? And Dan is my main man behind the camera. My darling fiance, Dan, does all of the video editing, helps me with filming, does everything behind the scenes. So even when you think he's not involved in the videos, just know he's doing everything behind the scenes. And then my darling manager, Vanessa, does all of our brand liaisoning and contracts and whatnot. So there's 3 of us in total that keep these gears turning, but definitely keep an eye out in the new year. We are wishing to expand that. We want to bring some more people on the team. We're going to be ideally hiring 2 assistants to help with both video editing and just general life here. And it's funny because I actually get a lot of applications like on a weekly basis, people wanting to be a virtual assistant or work from elsewhere in the world. But just know in the new year, we're going to be bringing more people onto the team, and those positions are definitely going to be local and in person. And you can join us here once we finish the basement office and studio in the new year. So we're very much looking forward to that. It's been many years of myself solo doing YouTube, and then it's been a lot of years of poor Vanessa and Dan listening to my blabbing. So we're definitely looking to expand that in the new year. So keep an eye out. We'll be doing some job postings very soon in the new year, if anyone has any interest. I'm gonna answer the next couple of questions from our beautiful temporary Canadian Tire fold-up art tables. Our future dining room to be. We got a lot of questions about why we decided to not live in Vancouver. If we miss the city, if we miss Toronto, all of those good things, why did we move outside of the city? And long story short, we wanted to make a purchase and we can't afford it. If you look at housing prices in both Toronto and Vancouver, it is just absolutely terrifying, honestly. And we moved back to Vancouver to be closer to our families. That is why we absolutely love Toronto. We miss it dearly and hope to be back as often as we can. But yeah, we decided to move outside of Vancouver because it was either a very small apartment in the city or a home with a backyard and space. And actually the next question is, how do we achieve a work-life balance by working at home and filming myself and my work being my life in general? Do we have any work-life balance? Basically, the main reason why we decided to move out of the city is because we wanted that space to hopefully achieve some kind of a work-life balance at home. So, you know, if you've been keeping up with the vlogs, you know that we're trying to set up the studio in the basement so that that can really be a workspace, and hopefully going forward, we'll have more of a separation and be able to kind of switch off a little bit more, because right now it does feel quite constant and like we never actually turn off from the internet. So that's something we definitely wanted to achieve by making the move outside of the city. So hopefully there will be much more on that in the new year. Someone asked if you would ever consider hiring an interior designer, and I have to say, listen, you guys really tore apart my rug dreams. You guys were not a fan of the rug. We have had terrible luck in terms of decor. We have had terrible luck with decor, and Dan and I have both tossed in the towel, and we definitely hope to have some updates on the interiors related to that in the new year. So stay tuned, keep an eye out. We're bringing in some help. Will 2022 be the year that we get a dining room table? Only time will tell. Say hello to Ollie, the fake olive tree. Isn't she beautiful? We still don't have a vase for her, so she's just chilling. I wanted to come to this lovely corner to address the numerous questions about the house, how the home buying process went, why we decided to do what we did, buy a new build. Is this our forever home? What is our long-term plan with this house? All of the home questions. And I do think that that could be a video all in itself. So if that's something that you would want, you know, maybe me and Dan to film a video on and talk all about it, if you guys just wanted to ask all of your home questions and we do a whole video dedicated to that, I think we'd be more than willing to do it. But at the same time, like, this was very much a work motivated move for us. You know, the house, it was many, many months of us offering on houses that we wanted and getting outbid and losing on. A new house was definitely not our first choice because you end up actually having to pay more tax on it. It was the more kind of expensive option out of the home buying process. And I do just feel like we actually had a lot of bad luck. Not only was it like a months and months and months of like a really, it was just a lot. It was a long process of us trying to find and get the house. We were also purchasing a house away. My poor mother and a real estate agent, like there was just hours and hours and days and weeks spent on FaceTime trying to find a house. So that was like exhausting in itself. But I also just feel like we had a lot of bad luck. You know, our movers didn't show up. We moved here during a heat wave. It was 50 degrees Celsius in the house. Our grass died. We had issues with contractors. Like, it's just, we're still not settled in the house. You know, we still don't have half the furniture. It's still not decorated. We're just on the tail end of finishing our basement. So we just haven't felt like we've been settled in the house yet. And we're really looking forward to finishing it and getting it to feel like we're at home and really being able to start enjoying the space. So it still feels like we're in that transition period of still moving in and settling into the house. So we're not quite there yet. It's getting closer, but we love it. We love having our own space. It feels like the most freedom and magical thing to be able to take a space and completely make it yours and do what you want with it and make it as functional as we can for work. So that's so exciting for us. And it already does feel so much like coming home. Every time we come in, we're like, oh my God, like we just spend all of our time here and we absolutely love it. And as far as it being a forever home, this is definitely like, this is a first step for Dan and I. This is our first house together. We're gonna be getting married in this house. Like, I'm sure we're gonna have years of memories here, but as to whether or not like this area and this house is our forever home, I don't think so. I have many dreams of living in many different places and still making a move abroad. Like, there's so much more life to live. And, you know, I think that we'll have many, many happy years in this house. But as to whether or not it's forever home, only time will tell. I love the next question because someone asked if I still considered myself a tequila gal, and I've just gotta say I am thrilled to have a little story to go along with this. Yes, tequila or Prosecco champagne any day of the week, I am down. I am a tequila girl through and through. Tequila shots are the only shots that I can do as well, even though I still shudder deeply when I take them. And you know, you're not supposed to actually shoot tequila. Tequila is meant for sipping, my good people. I consider myself a true lover of tequila. I love to try all kinds of tequila, and I saw like celebrity parties all over Instagram, influencer parties. Everyone was always drinking the Don Julio 1942 tequila in the long skinny brown bottle, and I was like, what is it with this tequila? Why does everyone drink it? Is it literally just because it's expensive, or is it really that amazing? Like, I was dying to try it just out of curiosity, and I went on like a 6-month hunt for this tequila, okay? In Canada, it's impossible to find. You call the liquor stores and they're like, oh, that's only private client orders. I'm like, excuse me, how does one add themselves onto that list? Truly, for months, I was trying to find this stupid tequila. I couldn't get it anywhere. And for my birthday this year, my birthday was in August, my darling parents-in-law, Dan's parents, they found it for me. They found me a bottle of Don Julio 1942. I just about shatteth in mine pantaloons when I open this up. They have a video. I'm like screaming in it. I could not believe it. This was my birthday gift from them. It was absolutely magical. And I, my friends, have a bottle of Don Julio 1942 tequila, and we've been treasuring it. Dan and I both don't know when is appropriate to open this. Like, when do we try this? I have no idea. But here she is, and we've had her beautifully displayed, and I can't wait to try this. It's like one of the best gifts I've ever received. I couldn't believe that they found it, and someday we'll give it a sip and I'll let you know what I think. To Mama and Kachi, I love you forever, and thank you endlessly for this. And yes, ya girl still loves me a tequila. Welcome to the bathroom, my friends. A lot of you have asked for an update on my lips. Now, if you didn't know, or if you are new here, I've been getting my lips done since 2017, and my most recent lippity doodles, I don't remember when that was. It must have been April or May of this year. I mentioned that I was very unhappy with what I had done. It was a very tragic experience. This was my healing process the next day. It was horrific, and my lips have been quite a lumpy mess ever since. And no, I have no update to give you. I have not gotten them fixed. If you've never done it before, when you fix your lips, if you get it dissolved, not everyone experiences this, but it's a very, very painful process for me. They literally put like hot burning liquid into your lips and it dissolves them. And then it's quite a healing period after that. You have to wait a certain amount of time before you can get them redone. So the last time I did this, I got really, really bruised. I was kind of out for a while. And to be honest, I just haven't had time to do that. So they have gone unfixed. And also in that time we did a move and everything else that has happened since then. It's just not been a priority. But yeah, I'm really, really like not okay with my lips. They drive me crazy every single day. And I stare at myself all day in photos and video for a living. So I've got, if you can see this little crease right here, I've got this like big sticking out crease. The filler was put above my lip line, and it's also, if you look at it, I don't know if you can see it from here, but if you look at it from the top angle, it's just like super lumpy. Yeah, drives me crazy every day. I've got no update for the lips. Hopefully someday I'll be able to address them and get them fixed, but until then, I'm just waiting it out, fam. The next question was asking about birth control and if I was on birth control. And yes, I have been taking the pill for the better part of 10 years. I started taking birth control when I was in grade 12. Your girl has a heavy flow and a wide set vagina. If you know, you know, but for real, like my periods were horrific, very, very heavy, and it was just, you know, not something that was enjoyable. So for me, the pill is the best kind of aid for that. These make my periods much more manageable and delightful. I'm on Pfizer. It's Select 1/3/5. It's a very, very low estrogen amount, and I've been on that for many, many years. And with my little pills over there, and then with the double shots, I'm just a whole cocktail of Pfizer up in here. I think we're gonna come hang with the meow roll on the couch for the rest of the questions. So next up, someone asked for some general relationship advice, and I was actually thinking about this one deeply because in my relationship with Dan, who is now my fiance and who I am choosing to spend the rest of my life with, however long that may be. And I think it's so interesting because I look at my younger self and in my previous relationships and how I would constantly be looking to change myself to suit the other person. Like I'm a really weird, goofy gal, and I was constantly concerned like I'm too weird, I'm too goofy, I need to dim this down, he's not gonna like me, or I need to dress a certain way, or I need to do this or be interested in this. One specific example that comes to mind, I was absolutely smitten with this guy in university, and he loved Pink Floyd and he loved old music, and I made it my mission. I listened to every single, keep in mind, I didn't grow up with Pink Floyd, okay? Please don't judge me in my upbringing, okay? But I had no idea like what or who Pink Floyd was as a band, but I made it my mission to become the biggest fan. I listened to every single album. I learned all the words, I learned all the songs, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna become the biggest Pink Floyd fan, and he's gonna fall in love with me. He didn't, and he's married now, and that's so fine. But it's just so funny that was the thought process. It's like, it was constantly like what I can change to make someone else like me. I was so insecure, and I just didn't feel like I had anything to offer. And what I've learned with Dan and the wonderful man that he is that he accepts me for myself 100%. Sorry, Meryl's just having a hate. Can you stop twirling? Chill. He accepts everything that I am and loves me for it, and we don't agree or love everything about each other. You know, everyone's gonna have their little quirks and things that annoys them, but my biggest relationship advice to my younger self would be like, just be yourself. Like, you don't have to change anything for anyone else. It doesn't matter. The games, this crap, like having to hide if you like somebody, like no, someone is going to love you 100% for yourself and all that you are. I feel very, very strongly about that, and I look back on those years that I was just always feeling insecure and wanting to change things about myself, and just wish I had known, like, just be me, and someone will love me for me and everything that is. So that is my biggest piece of relationship advice that I could ever give you or my younger self as well. Okay, Meryl, I'm already starting to get itchy. Can you see the redness on my arm? Like, she drools on me and sits on my arm and I get red and itchy. Yeah, you did that. You do that. I absolutely love the next question. If you were a fantasy novel writer, what fictional elements would your world have? Now, I need to know if anyone actually feels the same way, and if there are book recommendations that would suggest other than what I'm about to say, I need to know your recommendations, because here's the thing. Every single fantasy book I read, whether it relates to magic or dragons or whatever, there's always like a pre-magical time, like the golden days, if you will. Like I think of Aragon, back in the day when all the dragons reigned and it was the most magical time, and there's this like history of magic that's always magical, and it's always like a resurgence or a rediscovery or a rebirth of magic that's being found again. But there's never books about like that peak magical time. Oh my gosh, I was thinking of this even when I was watching Shang-Chi. It's like this historic magical time where there was this great war and this great warrior came and saved everyone and blah, blah, blah. It's like, can we have a book on that? Can we have a book on the glory days? Why is it always this like less magnificent, less magical, fantasy related storyline? Give me the maximum. Give me the glory days, baby. Give me the golden days. I want all the dragons. Why aren't they ever based on the most magical times? Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like I didn't word that well, but hopefully my other fantasy readers will feel me. Oh, that's cute. Another fun Meryl fact, she does that daily, multiple times a day. She'll just like look up at me and want to sniff my mouth, and she'll give me a little touch. She never licks me. Never. She never gives me a little lickety kiss, nothing. I just want her to be like, you know, like when dogs come and give you kisses, they're like, never, never ever, she'll never give me lickety kisses. Someone asked how the winners of Lanmas are chosen, and in general, Dan heads that task, bless him. We do use random comment generators, and then multiple comment entries are always removed. And for the most part, I always try to keep my giveaways like as a true thank you. I try to make it as easy as possible to enter it. You know, I'm never asking you guys to like do a task, follow 40 people in a thread and tag 5 friends and whatever. Like I try to make it very easy. Just like leave a comment, be a subscriber here on YouTube, and you know, yeah, I try to make it easiest with the contact info, and you know, for whatever reason, YouTube has been absolutely playing me this time around. I want you guys to know, like, I hear you. I know YouTube's been messing with a lot of the entries and comments and whatnot, but the reality is, like, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that shows up for me on the back end. I have no idea why that's happening to certain people, because there are still like hundreds and thousands of entries that are still coming through. So to those who are experiencing that, I'm really sorry, and I don't know why that's going on, but Dan and I, once this Lanmas is done in the new year and any future giveaways, we're definitely going to be solidifying a process that will go unaffected by YouTube, and as well as scamming people who love to comment and ruin the fun. So with that being said, there is also a giveaway in today's video, so be sure to read the description box and you can enter below for today's giveaway. Yes. Oh, that's nice. And that is how we select our winners. There were a lot of questions about these 2 general ideas. And the first one being, do I have plans to make my own makeup brand? Do I have a makeup brand in the works? Do I ever want to come out with makeup products in the future? And to that, my answer is no. I have no intentions on coming out with a makeup brand for a multitude of reasons. One, I do feel that the market is very, very saturated, and there's nothing new that I could offer the world. I feel like a lot of people are very, very passionate about makeup specifically. We have a lot of amazing like influencers in our community who are so beautifully involved and passionate about what they do and the products that they come out with. And there's so many people who are just experts in what they do, and they're making their own like curated selection of products. And I think that's amazing. And I'm so happy to support it. And obviously, like, beauty is such a huge portion of what I do here on my YouTube channel. And the very few collaborations that I've done, I think it's been a lot of fun. Like for my kits with MAC, for example, I've been able to curate my favorite products and like offer a discount. I've done the same with nude sticks. And then, you know, the one product that I felt like I really couldn't find in the market was my orange blush, which I was so happily able to create and do a collaboration with nude sticks on. And I love that idea. I love being able to, you know, curate pieces here and there and have some really fun opportunities like that come about. But I think that creating a brand, creating a makeup brand is a very long-term play. And I just don't feel like I'm passionate enough about like makeup specifically to be married to that idea for a very long time. Like, you're starting a brand, that is a full effort, that is a fully involved time commitment. Like, you are creating a brand, and you know, that's a long-term thing. And I don't see myself running a makeup brand brand long term. I like to have my toes dipped into many different baskets and play amongst, you know, all categories of life, not just makeup. So I don't see myself creating a makeup brand. So to answer the question, no, I am not working on a makeup brand on the side, and I don't really have any intentions to, but you never know what opportunities come up in the future. I think that having the opportunity to be collaborative and creative in the space is always really exciting, and I'm always grateful for the things that I have been able to do, and hopefully the things that I will do in the future. But yeah, it's just not specifically necessarily going to be just makeup. The world is a very vast place, and so are my interests. So hopefully that answers that question. And then the final question that I want to answer actually is kind of similar to that, and that is, do I plan on doing YouTube forever? What are my long-term plans with YouTube, and where do I see myself in the next couple of years, and where do I see myself going career-wise? And I think that's a super interesting question. It's a question that comes up every time I do a Q&A, and I actually would love to go see what my previous answers have been. But I think if anything, the last 2 years of everything that we've experienced together on the planet has shown us that nothing is set in stone, nothing is guaranteed, and the world, you'll never know what's going to come your way and what changes you'll have to adapt to. So, you know, obviously, like, I have long-term life goals and hopes and dreams and whatnot, but I have no idea where life is going to take me and what life is going to bring, what the world is going to throw at me. I try not to look too deeply into the future. I'm trying to just like really embrace what I've got going on in the present. And as far as my thoughts towards YouTube, there's so many people who I have followed on YouTube and on social media for years. Like, some people I have watched on YouTube for a decade, for 10 years, and I have watched them grow up and evolve and change. And I think it's a really cool and magical thing, and you become very attached to these people that you follow online, and it's fascinating to see them grow up and experience life. And so I don't know what YouTube is going to look like in the next 2 to 5 years, 10 years, but I think it's a really exciting thing to have you guys here as part of my community. And, you know, we're all just kind of growing up and experiencing life together. And I think that's really cool. And I definitely want to do that for as long as I can. And even if my business life changes, even if the way I make an income, like if I'm not an influencer full time, if YouTube isn't my full-time job in the future, I think I'm going to continue doing it. And it's always going to be like quite a happy place for me. And I hope that many of my fellow creators here on YouTube feel the same way, because it's always sad. It's like you're going through a breakup, or like your favorite show is ending when someone decides to leave the platform or takes a step back. So I hope to be able to do this for as long as I can and be a part of your guys' lives, and the same to you. I hope that you'll be here and see where life takes us. Isn't that crazy to think? It's such a fascinating thing. I dwell on this like way more than I should. What do you think, Meryl? Where are you gonna be in 5 years? And with those thoughts, my friends, I'm going to leave you. I hope that you have enjoyed this Q&A video. I hope you've enjoyed this little chat. Thank you so much to everyone for sending in your questions. I hope that this was fun. I hope that it was insightful, and hopefully you learned something, or just, you know, enjoyed the little chatty moment that we've had here together. So thank you for being here, friends. Meryl and I are going to sign off and bid you adieu. I love you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow for a new Lanmas video. Thanks for watching. Say bye, Meryl. Bye!